This is TWiT.
Another phone that we've talked about on the show, but we haven't actually had any like in-use perspective or even shown it off really in person is the Huawei P40 Pro. And Max, you have this phone. How long have you been in contact with this phone, and what can you tell us about it?
I've probably had it for like 10 hours. I got it earlier today.
Oh, okay.
Nice. I got this deep sea blue one, which I really like blue phones.
Ooh,
that's a nice blue color.
That's a good color. I like it. I'm with you.
Oh yeah. It has it doesn't really have color shifts, but if you get the light directly on it, it becomes a lighter shade. And so far, it is this is probably the nicest feeling phone I have ever felt. The curved screen. Oh yeah. The curved screen feels like the phone and the glass. Everything is one piece. There's no real border between them. And then the bottom curve makes the gestures very comfortable. So I really like dual curve, or the quad curve, sorry. Because the bottom, I don't know how well you can see it on the camera. The bottom's curved.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it is. You're right.
Yeah.
So you can see that slight indent.
Yeah, the glass on the front and the back kind of curve around the bottom. I mean, that is a phone you never want to have meet the ground for any reason whatsoever.
I think it came with a case in the box. I didn't really check, but I think it has a case in the box. Huawei usually puts them in.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them are doing that more now, and that's good to see.
Yeah. Oh,
so
it
you
also
just
has it has the hole punch, and then it's like a huge one that has Face ID scanners in it. Time of flight.
Oh, okay. How do they compare to what's on the Pixel and kind of the system on the Apple on the iOS devices as far as that's concerned?
So from what I understand, normally you have to like move your head in the weird rotation to get it connected. On this, I didn't, so I don't know if it's actually using it. I know it's there, but I don't know if it's using it, so I don't want to say it's as secure. In actual image quality, though, it is the sharpest image I've seen on a front-facing camera.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know if I like that, though, because remember, there's a reason Barbara Walters put a little Vaseline on the lens, okay?
There's a reason.
It actually, on previous Huawei phones, it would have like beauty mode enabled and you couldn't shut it off, and it was really intense. When you set it up, the first time you take a selfie, I've reset this phone 3 times trying to get Google Apps on it. I'm like kind of there. But when you set up, you first take a front-facing camera picture, it asks, do you want beauty mode on or off? And then do you want to mirror the image? And it actually has full pop-ups instead of having to go to settings to do it.
Yeah,
Okay,
beauty mode, I mean, look, everybody Facetunes out there, right? This is just like part of it. But I hate it when it's super overt and you're like, okay, I don't really look like that in person. But anyway.
Yeah, when it looks like it's literally putting a mask on you. It's like a you mask. It's
Just
like, all right, turn
enhance
on
me.
this mode, and it's like your face, but a mask version of your face.
Exactly.
It's a you mask. That's fantastic, by the way. And horrifying. Like, thank you, Jason, for my nightmares of like seeing you guys with masks of yourself. Like, ugh.
32 megapixel is the front-facing camera. Yeah, and you're right, IR depth sensor.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. So how do you feel about this story? It's kind of related, but I saw this kicking around. Android Police, they posted an article, of course, about just the fact that, hey, this is an amazing phone. It's just really too bad that it's so borked because there are no Google apps or services on it. It can't compete without that. And apparently Huawei got in touch with Android Police and sent them an email asking for every phone they've ever sent back. Basically saying, from what I understand anyways, and I'm obviously not privy to any inside information, is just from reading the article and kind of seeing some tweets. Huawei didn't seem to like the tone of that article very much, but it's a fair criticism, right?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Like, maybe I understand in some markets it might not be, but for the wider kind of release of a phone like this, it has a potential to be so much more than it is, and based on the current paradigm of Android in much of the world, it is missing out, and that will hinder it, right?
Oh, yeah. I tried to use mine without Google Apps for maybe about an hour, and it was basically impossible for me. So I've spent maybe 6 hours today getting Google Apps slide loaded onto this, and I have it like kind of working. Some apps work, some don't, but the majority of apps work, and it makes it much more usable.
You're like, oh, I have a phone again. But that could just be completely painted by our perspective of how we use Android phones, right? Sometimes it's hard to know. Like, well, maybe for someone else that isn't much of a hindrance, but to ours it definitely is. I mean, any of the phones that we really talk about on this show usually have some form of Google Apps services running on it, and it's hard for me to think of using Android without it. But that's my U.S. perspective, I guess.
Yeah, I need my Google Photos.
Yeah.
If there's no Google Photos, I can't really use the phone.
I need my maps.
That's hard, right? Yeah, especially on a phone that is lauded for its camera system. You're going to be taking a lot of pictures of those. So, okay, well, that's the P40 Pro. Now, will you be doing anything on this, or should people follow your Twitter to kind of catch your thoughts?
I'll probably do a couple of videos for XDA TV, maybe an article. Not sure yet. With these, I kind of get them and do what comes to mind.
Yep. Right on. Cool.